PPC and Toy Daddies. PPC and Toy Daddies. What's going on, everybody? Your Toy Daddies are here with some Toy Daddy news. So this is a new little segment that we are going to be dropping each and every week, where we focus on one particular piece of toy news that we really just wanted to do a little bit of a deeper dive. And man, this week, I think the thing that kind of blew us all away was Beetlejuice. We didn't even see the movie yet. I know I didn't, but man, the biggest one that kind of shook all of us was the Mezco Beetlejuice. So hi guys, how are you?
Hey,
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice. Do we get to start?
Well, technically you were the third one because you said it twice, so I just that.
Got it. Get the rules.
Oh man, so if you've ever seen one of our top 10 streams, we're Mezco fans. At least 2/3 of us are super Mezco fans. I mean, Chris, I would say that you are even at a higher level than me. Like, I would say that you're Mezco, XP.
I guess you're like a Mezco king, and Yimbo, you're a Mezco prince.
Sure.
And I'm just a citizen in Mezcoville. Because I do like a lot of my Mezcos, but you both get excited to like a level I haven't reached quite yet.
Yeah, they do.
I do get really excited for every Mezco release.
Yeah.
And I think Mezco just does a great does a thing where they keep you guessing, and they keep you waiting, but they keep you guessing.
Yes.
What they're gonna reveal, right?
Yeah.
And today, what I really appreciate Mezco nowadays is that they're saying, all right, guess what? Something's going to drop tomorrow for pre-order. It's going to be this. And we knew that right at the beginning of this week that Beetlejuice was going to drop today.
And the biggest thing is accessories. What's going to come with him? And that's what really, two things blew me away. One in a positive and one in a not as great. And although I think the value is there, I was still a little sticker shocked. There's my little con, but not just because of the price tag itself. It was just like not in terms of what I think it value, because look at these freaking accessories. Like, it is mind blowing. So the value is there. It's just still, it was like okay, I got to really think about this one.
That shot.
I mean, this is definitely one of the higher priced Mezcos that they've released in a while, to be honest. They haven't had a Mezco that was this price. 155, right?
I think the last one I saw at 155 was Doom.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's rare that
was a long time ago.
This level. Look at that.
But yeah, I mean, they're calling it the deluxe edition, which makes me think they'll probably come out with a standard edition too.
Yeah, I mean, but then would you want? I guess that's the question. So there's a couple of questions out there for our ToyPic community members that we would love if you want to leave a comment with like what you're thinking, because at this point none of us have ordered. We're on the fence. We've talked about it. It's I'm still hemming and hawing myself. Would it make it more palatable for you? And this is a question for you guys, and then again out there in action figure lands. If it was just a figure release, if some of these things were scaled back and it was 125?
Oh, so an example of something that they've done in the past, I don't know if they've done it too often, but Deluxe Wolverine, that came out to be about 155, came with everything. That pack out is one of the best pack outs I've ever seen a figure come with. And then they had a second one where Wolverine was in his training suit, and I believe that was going for 95. So yeah, to what you said, this may indicate that a second release is coming. But with that said, what features, what accessories in here would you like go of to get to that point? Because the thing that I keep looking at now that I'm in love with is the number of head sculpts that are in this box. Because it's not just the 4 on the front. We've got 2 more right here, the 6.
Yeah, and the shrunken Beetlejuice head.
Yeah, so it's like Chewy just said, 6 unique head sculpts is so great, and it looks like those two in particular are locked into this deluxe release.
Who
So
wouldn't
as
want
it
the
says
shrunken
bonus,
head? That's
the
so
shrunken
cool.
head.
Yeah,
What is
the shrunken head is definitely like so iconic, right?
You would
I
think
wouldn't-
the tombstone that lights up would be the main seller, but no, I think it's this page.
I mean, the tombstone is spectacular. I want this, and it's something that's funny because, like, I mean, I've always enjoyed the movie. I just watched it again recently. It holds up. It's so good. But I never thought he's just that type of character, like the Mask, like Vapor, like just that Deadpool, even to an extent, where you can just throw them into any type of situations. An Odious, you know, like he's that kind of just, hey, I can play with everybody. And that's a big piece to my like pull for him. And again, it just ordering through the Mezco site for me was going to come out to $181.
Oh, wow.
Is that shipped?
That was shipped, so that was taxes and shipping. So it's one for one figure. It's, you know, as somebody who just passed on the Rattler, as we were talking on the last top 10 stream, it's a little tough, you know. Sometimes we got to make the hard decisions. I want him. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it at the moment.
I think this one harkens back to what you guys always used to say about Mezco when describing what Mezco was. It's a 1/12 hot toy.
Yeah.
And I think this one clearly is, even at that price, it clearly went for it. This is the ultimate one. I don't even know what you would add additionally to this to make it even better.
Yeah, I mean, I think what you're saying really does nail it. I think the price point is in these head sculpts. These head sculpts are some of the best that I feel Mezco's ever done, realistic wise. It looks like a real Beetlejuice like head. Like it looks like Michael Keaton's face. It doesn't look, there's nothing, the realness of it is kind of eerie. Like it looks
a little bit, right?
So real. It looks so real.
And
So-
I can see this, you know, now that I'm seeing this, I'm kind of falling in love with this figure.
I know, man.
Me
Put this
too.
anywhere, like in your house, and like, you imagine having Buzz and Woody, and like suddenly Beetlejuice is like behind them, being like, "Oh,
Look at
hello."
I'm still on the fence. Like Diggs Figs is always teasing me about talking myself in and out of purchases, but like I could easily still see myself going, all right, like this is worth budgeting and just saying screw it, let's do it. I'll figure it out. Like I'll say no to a few extra Target, things I come across on the pegs to make this happen.
This is the first time I'm talking myself into a Mezco. Like this is normally I'm just like, you know what, the price, I know myself, I gotta hold back. But this is the first time looking at me and saying to myself, in a year when this comes out, this says between February and April, when this comes out and people have it in hand and they're taking these photos and they're having fun with this figure, would I feel like I missed out? Would I have that FOMO? And I feel like this might be that.
I kind of feel.
We talk about how we feel like sometimes there are some figures that come out that feel very special. I'm looking at this one and I feel it's one of those figures that feels really special.
I know. I'm afraid I'm gonna get the same feeling I have now with the Mask figure, as I've seen so many of our friends now taking killer shots, and I knew that he was gonna be, and I was like, no, and I was trying to be a good boy. That was one of those, and now it looks great, and I'm like, oh, if I see him at a toy show, will I get him? Type of deal.
Would I hope that they come out with a second version of it? And then what would that version even look like? I would want him in the suit.
That's the whole thing. And I was going to throw out, like, we also saw, and we don't have to get into it for this particular one because we wanted to focus on this Mezco release, but we do know NECA and also SH Figure Arts have announced their Beetlejuice figures as well. The NECA was in an alternate attire, one of his other looks from the movie. Yeah. And I feel like they would do maybe that. We would still get a Beetlejuice stripped down, but you're not going to get the iconic striped suit. I feel like it'll be in one of the other.
Because I can, even though now that I know that based on the photos, those extendable arms are bendy and can roll up based on one of the photos that we just saw. And then the carousel head, maybe I could let that go. To get down to the non-deluxe price, probably no tombstone. But it's those heads and the suit. I wouldn't be able to let go of them.
I would buy this for 100. Just this.
Oh, just this? Yeah.
With nothing else, just figure,
Nothing
hands, heads.
It would come with at least one less head.
I want this. This is what I would want.
I want the shrunken heads. You can't let go of the shrunken heads.
I know, you're right. Shrunken head.
The shrunken. Because just that alone, I'm thinking of all like, oh man, he would just pal around with Deadpool in the shrunken head.
Right?
That would be it. That would
what
be.
They need to have. I hope they do it. When this comes out, you have to have that Beetlejuice Mezit, a Beetle Mezit.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Striped suit,
suit, and then just a green wig. That's what you need to do.
I could do it.
Be a 10 ice sticking out. Shoot, did I talk myself into this?
I know. I feel like
So it's
honestly, I came in here. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna get this, and now we're just gushing over it
because it's spectacular. The only reason it wasn't an instant buy is because I had to stop and think about the financial implications of that a little bit more.
That's all I'm thinking about right now too. Is that we only have to put the NRD for this right now, and then the rest is next year. So
yeah,
it's very poor, unhealthy toy math, but we've done this before. And
this is something that was my first question, because when this immediately went up at 1:00 on the day that we recorded, the day it was announced, it was only up on that one website, or only on Mezco, and then it did show up on, I think, Entertainment Earth or Big Bad for sure.
Oh, has it? Nice.
Yeah, so there are options out there.
Let's go back to it.
I don't know if it, I feel like it will be available, maybe, for a little while. The fact that it's at least up, I don't think we'll see it hit the wait list for another day or two.
Yeah, it's not exclusive. So.
Yeah, I see it on Big Bad right now. Okay.
So, Chris, if you were, as again, out of the three of us, I still rank you as our King Mezit. So, where would you order this if you were going to? And you're thinking about it now, but would you go through them directly, or just hit up one of the other locations?
I order all my Mezcos through Mezco.
Okay.
And I get Mezco points, and I use those a lot.
Oh, and
they add up.
Can we use points for this? Is there?
Yeah. I have $5. I think I could put towards it.
Typically, I think they changed it, but typically you couldn't do pre-orders, but it would be in stock items. But for the past couple, I've been using them for my pre-orders. So.
Interesting. All right, that's something to consider.
Check it out. Put it in your cart. Try it. I don't quote me on it, but I want to say I've used it the last couple times on some pre-orders.
Yeah, and now I will. Again, we're always looking to the bright side. In the off chance that something happens to happen, I will say that Mezco has been spectacular. Both with myself and my own personal, but then also friends. Chris, I know you've dealt with them and stuff. They are sometimes you gotta wait a little bit, have patience, but their customer service is, and you are protected if there is any kind of QC. You're gonna get the replacement. When you order from them. Big Bad, also great customer service, backs up their products, but then there still is that. What if Mezco's out? What if they're out? What if Mezco's you might not ever get the figure? I feel like at least with Mezco in that first 10 days, it forces you to open it, check everything out, make sure it's legit and good. Maybe that's just, I don't know, Chris, what are you thinking?
No, and I just want to say, now I remember, because I used my points on the Mezco Turtles, and I remember getting $100 off because I had a lot of points.
Daddy.
So
Mezco King right there.
You could do that.
Mez Daddy.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome. So
Yep.
if you haven't used them, you probably have something adding up there. So.
Well, I don't know if I don't think we've have this locked in. I don't think any of our minds are made up. This could very well end up turning into a Toy Daddy all buy. I'm not sure. We do have an all love for this figure, that is for sure.
Well, let's talk about some of that history. I watched that movie a lot when I was a kid, No Chewing, did you?
I watched it a good amount. It's been decades since I've rewatched it, though.
Yes,
I
me
might
too.
have been in high school or college last time I saw it.
And Yimbo said you just watched it
last
week, so-
spooky season. So last year.
Oh,
last year.
Hours ago, he watches every day.
No, I watched it last year. It was awesome.
It had been a while since you watched it? Or?
Oh yeah. It was probably teenage years, something along those lines. But again, like as a kid, watched it a ton. Shake, 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 Shonora. Was still one of my favorite songs. And it's so good. And I love Michael Keaton so much. Michael Douglas.
I honestly like it definitely hits all of the nostalgia bells, and it looks really good. I would say I'm like 75% that I'll buy. No, I'm sorry, 70%. Because I still think I'm not going to do it, but right now.
Then I'll put myself at 75. I could still see myself doing it because of how great this looks. It's a character. I would take Beetlejuice over the Dick Tracy's the 2-pack. So in my eyes,
really?
I'm trying to weigh out thinking of some of the Rumble releases, some of the other lines that they're doing. Like, I love Dick Tracy too, but I think I would rather get this Beetlejuice. So if I look at it that way, because the Dick Tracy set, that whole line is cool as anything too.
You're making me think about it again as well. It's like with Mezco, at least in my eyes, I'm picking favorites.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not buying each and every release. Nothing.
Yeah.
Not all of it speaks to me in that same way, but I treat it like favorites. And now I'm thinking about Doom that I passed on at that same price point. And I'm like, for Doom, in my history of Doctor Doom, I probably should have bought that. For the same amount. And then Beetlejuice, which it's now 2 movies and that cartoon series. Does that speak to me enough, and is that such a favorite that I would need this version of it?
Does it?
This, large set.
And?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, you sound uncertain.
I would put me at 50-50.
Okay.
I'm always at 50-50.
Yeah, that's more than we did.
Yeah. It's
and then
like
I get it first.
Yeah, I feel like you always yeah, guys, I think I'm gonna get this. I'm definitely gonna get it. And then next day, no, I didn't get it.
Yeah. No. You know what's funny about that? And it's my own doing, is that the gate that stops me is that I forget my password. So I'm logging into Mezco or any other sites. I'm like, I'm gonna have to do forgot passwords. And then something else distracts me and I move on.
That was me today. I was saved by having to put updated credit card information in. It's giving me time to stop and think.
One moment where you're not instant, the buy button. There's more buttons behind the buy button.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, it's giving me an extra 5 minutes to think about it.
By the way, what's so funny is does that look like green bubble wrap? Because I know NECA looked like NECA's photos that over here.
Oh, what?
No, that's something different, right? Is that more foamy crate? Okay.
Yeah.
It's just been very curious to see in these different companies and the photographers they use.
You know what? Now I'm excited about. Someone's gonna do it. Someone's gonna recreate the table where the 1/12, essentially 1/12 world.
Yep.
And I guess some great dial maker's gonna do it.
Oh, can you imagine a 1/12 diorama of the attic with the 1/12 scale table of the little
tinier Beetlejuice? And that tinier Beetlejuice is the Beetlejuice Mezit. I circled it all the way back. Now I want it again. 90% chance.
Oh boy.
90% chance if I knew that Mezit was going to be included.
That definitely, yeah.
Right? You would want that.
They've stopped sending Mezits.
I know, but this would be a good.
Last time I had an issue, and it was in regards to shipping. They sent me a Mezit, a nicer Mezit with pins and stickers and a postcard around that Mezit. So my Mezza expectation is somewhere higher. Like,
Yeah,
ooh.
they have not sent any Mezzets for the past like 2 years.
And so
see.
they're due. They're due.
They do. A Beetlejuice Mezza would be.
I mean, with the
so
deluxe edition, I would hope so. Yeah.
Do you think we get a steel tin?
Yes.
Oh, I would also hope so. I would also hope so.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's cool. I love the tins.
I know.
Actually, Doom didn't, but
Doom didn't come in a tin?
no.
Was it similar to like the Mezco Turtle box? That type?
No, it was just a
Just.
bigger box.
Oh, okay. Well, a tin would be cool, especially with something weighty and girthy like that gravestone.
Well, now that we see all this accessories and we've talked about storage before, keep it all in the tin makes it a little easier to keep the packaging all together. So like my Wolverine's in the tin because I'm not gonna get rid of the tin, and all the trays inside is perfectly for the tin. So now I have all the accessories laid out all nice and neat. So
It's true.
I would want a tin.
Oh man, well, fellow ToyPic community members, help us decide. Leave a comment below because clearly this
We
is
need
something
help.
that we want, but so continue this conversation. Thank you so much for checking it out. And don't forget to hit that like button, tell your friends, hit that notification bell for every single time we go live, including Chewy's unboxing lunches, which is so fantastic. I love them all. And I guess this is where we can cut now because I've lost my train of thought. Who wants to tag it and bring it home?
Well, thank you for taking the time to hear us chat about Beetlejuice by Mezco. Again, let us know in the chat or leave a comment if you're in, you think we should be in.
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.